It's a battle of the weird 1950 style giant f***ing robots as the Ayran Giant takes on Liberty Prime.
Liberty and the pursuit of happiness.
Hey guys, this is EckhartsLadder. Hello and welcome to another episode of Versus. Today we have two fan favorites, the Ayran Giant from the movie The Ayran Giant and Liberty Prime from the Fallout series. Today's video is once again sponsored by myself and the fine folks over at the EckhartsLadder Discord. We have our game night tonight and we're playing Battlefront 2, the 2005 version, so if you'd like to join in on some 64-player classic Star Wars action, links to the Discord and the Steam group are down in the description. Alright, so back to the content. Let's first take a look at each robot individually, and then I'll predict which one I think would win in a one-on-one matchup. We'll start with the Ayran Giant. The Ayran Giant is a 50-foot tall sentient machine of unknown origin. Based on a cutscene from the movie The Ayran Giant, he seems to be an alien planet killer, although this is not strictly canon. Throughout the movie, he can be seen in two modes. I'm going to call one his normal mode and the other one his weaponized or his war mode. He spends about 90% of the movie in this normal mode, presumably partially due to a bump on the head that he receives in the beginning. However, when his best friend Hogarth is injured, he quickly weaponizes. For this matchup, we'll assume that he doesn't have the bump and when faced with Liberty Prime, can weaponize at will. Given the fact that normally he doesn't actually have any obvious exterior weapons, the focus on this matchup will be as he exists in war mode. The Ayran Giant is a walking weapons platform with at least 5 different weapons types of various function and yield. First off, he has his arm cannon, which not only fires quickly but is also capable of destroying a 1950s style tank. He also has a less powerful but even more rapid firing weapon, which I presume is an anti-personnel gun. On the other arm, he has a very strange but powerful energy launcher, which is shown totally disintegrating another tank. He has 3 what I call scorpion tails, which appear to automatically seek out enemies, shooting quick-fired blasts of energy if any are detected. However, by far the Ayran Giant's most devastating weapon is a chest-mounted cannon. We see in the movie that although he misses, had he been accurate, he would have easily destroyed several battleships. This thing puts out a lot of energy. It creates a sort of explosion which is clearly several kilometers wide and is the catalyst for the US military deciding to use nuclear weapons on the robot. Let's now move on to defensive capabilities. While in weapon mode, the Ayran Giant seems to focus not only on weapons but also durability. His armor extends significantly, his head becomes protected, and he focuses much less on speed and more on a sort of durable tankiness. While in this mode, he's shelled by battleships and isn't even phased. He doesn't even notice being hit by tank rounds or small arms fire, and really he seems invincible to pretty much everything thrown at him by the US military. While in his regular mode, he still survives being hit by a train and he falls out of the sky on 2 occasions. The only low point of his durability, I would say, is when he's shot down when flying with Hogarth. I've theorized that this is probably because he wasn't weaponized and in fact he was resisting his urges to fight back. The Ayran Giant also has incredible regenerative properties. At the end of the movie, he's dismantled by a nuclear missile, but not destroyed. Despite literally taking a nuke to the face, the Ayran Giant's component pieces are not destroyed. This represents just how strong and advanced his alien engineering is. There's not a whole lot else I'd like to say. The Ayran Giant can fly, but probably only in his normal mode. As I stated, when weaponized, he prefers to move slowly, soaking up and tanking damage. That being said, it is available as an option to him. Let's take a look now at Liberty Prime. Liberty Prime is a pre-war US military robot from the Fallout universe. At 40 feet tall, he's an incredible and patriotic force of destruction. For this matchup, we'll assume that he's in prime condition and believes that the Ayran Giant is in possession of a copy of the Communist Manifesto. He also has use of his full Mark II upgrades, which seem to increase his durability, tactical awareness, and nuclear stockpile. Let's talk about the weapons of Liberty Prime. Obviously, he can use his gigantic size to hurl or stomp on enemies. However, he also has powerful eye lasers, which are upgraded as part of his Mark II upgrade. These can not only completely disintegrate an organic being, but also destroy vehicles like vertibirds. However, his main weapons, especially after the Mark II upgrades, are handheld mini nuclear bombs. He literally takes them out of his backpack and chucks them at his enemies. The nukes seem to be similar in size and capabilities to a Davy Crockett tactical nuclear device. That gives it what I think is a fairly reasonable yield of a dozen or 2 tons of TNT. Durability wise, no handheld weapon in Fallout is capable of damaging Liberty Prime. He is destroyed, but only temporary, by a salvo of 4 missiles from a Bradley Hercules orbital satellite. What's clear is that he's very powerful. He uses an extraordinary amount of energy, even by Fallout's already fairly ridiculous standards, and we see him do things like tank the Enclave's photo resonance shields, although those do knock him down. Otherwise, he's very methodical, he's slow, he's incredibly patriotic, he's a walking avatar of death and destruction. Let's look at the actual matchup, and I'm going to say if Liberty Prime can manage to dismantle the Ayran Giant, I'll give him the win. That's not because I want to ignore his healing factor, but because I think Liberty Prime could, with enough time, eventually destroy the individual pieces. Unfortunately for Prime, even with that caveat, I think he's way out of his weight class. It seems obvious to me that the creators of the Ayran Giant were much more technologically advanced, even with how they handle energy when compared with the former US military. As I said earlier, the nukes being used by Liberty Prime, his most powerful weapon, likely output less than 20 tons of TNT. That's obvious not only by the size of the weapons, but also their blast radius and just how characters treat his weapons. The main weapon of the Ayran Giant, on the other hand, looks like it outputs perhaps hundreds of kilotons of energy. Admittedly, the Giant is fairly distractible, and he's not exactly the most accurate shot, but I think he's orders of magnitude more powerful than Liberty Prime. In my opinion, anything that Liberty Prime has that's powerful enough to kill the Ayran Giant will also destroy himself. Again, the Giant brushes off tank rounds, he gets hit by long-range artillery, nothing seems to faze him. If the positions were switched, I'm not necessarily saying that Liberty Prime would go down, but I think he would be much more obviously affected. The difference in destructive capabilities between these two machines is just very evident in my eyes, and I think that suggests that there's different levels of technology going on here. Even without his regenerative capabilities, I think the Ayran Giant takes this matchup 10 times out of 10. Put simply, I don't think Liberty Prime has the weapons to take the Giant down. Well, most of the Giant's weapons should be very effective against his US counterpart. That, however, is just my opinion. Who would win? How often? Let me know all of that and more down in the comments section, and don't forget to vote in the poll in the upper right hand corner. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please drop a like and subscribe to this channel as well as my second one. Thanks so much for watching. May the Force be with you.